Hey guys, this is a book review for The Secret History by Donna Tartt, and this book basically is an inverted detective story, you can say loosely in a way. The book starts with the murder of this character named Edmund Corcoran, hope I'm saying that right, who gets killed at the beginning of the novel. And basically the story goes back sequentially and reveals how that murder happened and the reasons for it. So you start off the book with Richard Pepin, who is the main narrator of the story, or more or less the only narrator of the story. He's one of the 6 students that are taking this very small and in a way and very elite Greek literature class at this Hampton college. So our main guy, Richard Pepin, comes from a very small town called Planto in California, which is totally fictitious, and he basically comes from very small, very average surroundings. He comes from a very average income family, and he lives in this dreary town, and he basically can't wait to get out of it. And one of the ways he finds out about Hampton College is because he's so interested in art and literature and the Greek language and things like that. So he basically ends up applying to that school. So when he finally reaches Hampton, he basically tries to enroll in ancient Greek, but he can't really get into it because the head of that class, Professor Monroe, only accepts a certain amount of students every year. And basically when he goes and talks to him, he refuses him. But throughout the beginning of the first semester, he basically starts to identify the students that are studying in that class, and he becomes sort of obsessed with them, and through a lot of ways he basically gets to know them and becomes friends with them, and through their advice he basically convinces Professor Monroe to allow him to enroll in the class. So now there are a lot of very deep themes in this novel, but one of the main things you would notice in this novel is the love of Greek literature and Greek history and Greek myths, and the other one is the love of, or not the love, it's almost the obsession of perfection and beauty that is a constant element throughout the book. And the characters in the story are influenced hugely by these 2 factors, and it doesn't really lead them into a lot of good situations, more or less. Now when it comes to the writing style, this book is sublime. The writing style is very beautiful and is almost effortlessly so. Almost everything is described in a very dazzling way, and everything is described so beautifully, and it makes you really feel like it's almost out of this world in its beauty. And that has a lot to do with Richard Pepin and the way he views the world. I mean, when you think about it, he comes from a very small town. He's never left California. He comes from this really dreary place to parents who don't really love him. So when he goes to Vermont and basically has a very a first contact with the outside world in a way, everything to him seems amazing. The affluent environment in Hampton, all these rich students and these rich kids and this amazing countryside, all of that to him seems like the most amazing thing on earth. And the writing style really parallels that. It really parallels Richard's way of thinking and his state of mind. And in many ways, the story deals with sort of the results of viewing things in that manner, because there is an obsession with grandeur and of wanting to experience certain things that might not be really good for you. And it basically the book displays the cost of choice. I mean, of course, in making certain choices. Anyways, when it comes down to the crux of it, The Secret History is an amazing novel. It's very, very well written. The characters are extremely interesting, and it is like nothing I've read before. It's very unique and original. And to me, what's the most amazing thing, that Donna Tartt wrote this book when she was 28 years old. And this is an amazing piece of art. So when you read it and you kind of think about that fact, you're like, wow, that is fucking bonkers, dude. She wrote this when she was 28. But yeah, Definitely go check this book out. It's not gonna disappoint you. It's very interesting, and I'm so glad I read it. And yeah, if you like this video, subscribe to my channel and click the like button, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.